Hey guys, David Len here. Welcome to Wargame Chat. Today we're going to talk about Wargame conventions because we go to a lot of them. And we're going to talk about what we like and what we don't like. I'll start with one of the things I like. I like when the convention has assigned tables for the games. Let me explain what that means. Some conventions I've gone to, there's like a game, and let's say that someone's playing Space Hulk or something. They'll be like, oh, okay, there's a game of Space Hulk at 2 p.m. And I'll be like, what table is it at? Oh, we don't know, wherever he just sets up. And it's hard to find where the game is, and if it's a bigger convention, it's really hard. Usually the big conventions have assigned tables and stuff for games, so if you sign up for one, you can at least find the damn thing. But yeah, that's one of my pet peeves.
Yeah, because at WolfCon, they had you were in like 3 different rooms.
Yeah.
And it would have been nice if they could have told you which room.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I was running a game there, and I like WolfCon first off. I got nothing bad to say about it, but I was running the game and no one showed up to the game, and I wonder if it's because they couldn't find me, maybe? I don't know. I ended up playing the game with Len, but there was no other people who joined then, so that was kind of disappointing. What do you like to see at conventions?
Okay, I like to have convenient food service at the convention. Now, just a nice little snack table where you can get like a sandwich or a hot dog or a hamburger.
Yeah, where they're not charging $14 for a hamburger. Yeah. I mean, most of these places actually charge about $9 for some itsy-bitsy hamburger that looks like it costs them about 40 cents to make.
Well, the advantage is that, first of all, hotel restaurants are even more expensive.
Yeah, that's true.
And the alternative is to go outside of the building, which takes time. But if they have a nice food service, I'm willing to pay $9 for a nice hamburger with potato chips and a drink. And, not only do you have something that'll fill you up until your next event, also it's convenient and fast. Mm-hmm. The emphasis here is on convenience and fast. Mm. So.
Good point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually this is one thing I don't like to see. I mean, a lot of times, like with miniature games, you get like a big game where you have like 8 people and stuff, and sometimes that works out well, and other times it's just a complete disaster because there's too many people who don't. I mean, you got 8 people there, and the game master is usually the only one who knows the rules, so it goes real slow and stuff. So if it's a game that's not a popular game, you might want to limit it, the amount of players, because you're going to have to teach them how to play and walk them through each turn. And if you got 8 players or 12 players, I mean, it's just going to drag because people are going to be waiting a half hour before they can take their turn and stuff. Another pet peeve I have is these guys who put on scenarios at conventions and they've never played the scenario on their own, and as soon as you start playing the scenario, it's obvious it's completely broken, it's completely unbalanced, and you're not having any fun because you're just playing a setup for failure basically, so that's no fun for you. What about you? Anything?
Okay, one thing I emphasize, if you're going to put on a game, play it first at home.
Yeah.
Because one of the things you'll do is you'll find out the flaws in it, and if it comes up at the convention, you expect it, and you know what to do with it. Mm. Of course, you'll find new flaws, but that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
And also, I was thinking with some guys, if you're play testing it, tell people so we don't get it. Because there was one guy, I don't want to mention name, he's play testing a naval game.
I know who you're talking about, go ahead.
Yeah, and well, there are problems, but if this was there were problems, so we can talk it over, and sometimes he makes rule changes on the spot, which is both good or bad. But when you're play testing, that's okay. Mm-hmm. So.
Yeah, definitely good to let people know if they're play testing a game. And like in the convention flyer that's handed out with the list of the games, it should probably say in there when they have the description of the game that it's a play test of some new rules. Just because some people don't like to play those, they like to play well figured out rules. Rules that are finished is what I mean.
Yeah. Because playtesting is horrible. It's like watching sausage being made.
Yeah.
Or Congress passing laws. It's horrible steps by steps. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Another thing with conventions that some of them need to approve, most don't, but some do. is you need to somehow advertise or get it out to people. I realize you got a shoestring budget and buying like ads it isn't practical, but there's nothing to stop you from going on the online forums for war games or miniature games or whatever you're doing, role-playing games, and just mention, hey guys, we're having a convention at such and such time at such and such place. Why don't you guys come out? I mean, do something. I mean, just having a web page and not posting anywhere that you're having a convention, I mean, that's not good, because I've gone to conventions and I've told people about it afterwards, and no one had even heard of this convention. If they had heard of it, they probably would have went.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, play test. Also, it's nice to have the convention in the hotel that you're staying at.
True.
There's been a few of them I haven't, where it's in a different building from the hotel. The problem is sometimes at night you're kind of tired and have to drive. Mm-hmm. So if you can, get it in the, hold the convention in the hotel that everyone's staying at.
Yep. One thing I like to see at conventions is either silent auctions or flea markets where people can sell their used gaming merchandise so they can get some money to buy new stuff. I really like going to silent auctions and conventions or regular auctions, whatever they have. I buy a lot of stuff there. So if you're having a convention and you're not letting people sell used stuff, I mean, you're taking a lot of the fun of the convention away.
That's true. A lot of times I look forward to conventions to buy things.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people do not live within range of a game shop, and all they can buy from is online, and a convention is really the only place where they can get games for a more reasonable price than online. So hopefully,
problems with some conventions I've had is sometimes they get too loud because they're too big. And sometimes it's hard to hear, like, what's your sign, Mr. Referee? Mr. Game Master? What?
One thing I do not like to see at conventions is where they charge to play a game. So some guy from wherever puts on some game, and then the convention charges you to, in addition to get in the convention, then a fee to play the guy's game, which I think is kind of goofy. I don't know, it just doesn't sit well with me. My favorite conventions are Little Wars and RockCon, and you don't have to pay for any events there. Everything's free, everyone has a good time. They usually have some kind of thing like a silent auction or a flea market or something where people can sell used goods and stuff. So that's why I really like those, and the games are just great there.
Yeah, there was a silent auction, but I was busy playing games.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, at RockCon I got quite a few things at the silent auction. Most of it was miniatures, but I got a reasonable price on everything I bought.
Yeah.
Definitely cheaper than I would have paid if I would have went on eBay or Consid Marketplace or somewhere to buy it.
True. And sometimes it's nice if it's close to home. You don't have to travel too far.
Yeah.
But sometimes some people are willing to travel. I found that out with the 7 Years War Convention. There are people from like Kansas and Nebraska, Colorado at that event.
Yeah.
Of course, it helps that South Bend has a nice airport. And also has a train station from Amtrak station, so it's actually probably for some people it's more convenient to go from their state to South Bend than it is to go to a neighboring state.
Yeah, there's that one convention I've gone to, I went there in Kansas once. It was from the Heart of America Historical Miniatures Gaming Society. I think it was called Border Wars. I went there one year. It was very small, but the games were all fun and stuff, and they were selling used stuff there too. So I had a really good time there. The only problem is, for me, I'd have to either take a plane there or drive my car for 7 hours to get there. That's why I've only been there once, but it was a good time when I went. One thing, if you're putting on a convention, you might want to put it in an area where gamers live, as opposed to just saying, oh, well, I'm going to put on a convention, I'm going to put it near my house. Well, if you're the only gamer or war gamer or whatever that lives within 30 miles of it, you're probably not going to get many people. But if you move it to like a more central city or something that's like 20 miles away or something that's more near people, you're probably going to get a lot more visitors.
Yeah, but getting space in New York City is rough. It's very expensive.
Oh, another thing I like to see are the presentations. Sometimes you just don't feel like playing a game you just want to sit down and relax in. Like with the presentations, people usually will put on like a historical presentation. You can sit down, watch it, relax, and learn something. Those are a lot of fun.
Yeah, I got to look into the new place for Little Wars, because we were talking about the problem we're having at the present place for the last 3-4 years is that the only time we could do a presentation, you had to go leave the game area and go to another room. Because in previous locations we had like presentations on the side of the game area. So if say like your game ends early, you could drop in and listen to about half of it. It's always nice to have people come in.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, definitely. You got anything else, or?
Well, the noise was a problem, and hasn't been a problem with temperature.
I've never had that problem. Oh, you've had some that are too cold or too hot?
Well, we had the famous one, Little Wars in Lincolnshire. Now, we had a problem, we played in like the tennis court.
Right, I remember that place.
Now, if they closed the doors, it got hot. And unbearably hot. So they turned on the air conditioning, which got very loud. In fact, I started bringing in earplugs. And one time, there was one event where we were actually writing notes to each other. I'm moving, because we just couldn't be heard.
Oh, speaking of Little Wars at Lincolnshire, that was a great convention. Was there? It's still a great convention where they have it now, but there was this one guy, and I'm not going to mention his name. I don't think he's alive anymore, so I'm definitely not going to mention his name. But I don't believe he had showered or wiped his tushy after using the bathroom in decades. Because I remember one year I walked in there, we were like on the second floor above the tennis courts. I walked in there, I could smell this guy, and I immediately knew he was there. And then I walked down the stairs, which was about 50 feet down the stairs, and walked in the middle of the room. The entire convention smelled like this guy, because I honestly don't believe he wiped his rectum even once in his life or took a shower.
Oh.
You know exactly who I'm talking about.
Well, I always live by the criteria. My sense of smell is not that great, so...
Oh, you can smell him.
Yeah, I was going to say, if I smell you, you smell bad. Yeah, so, you know, that's my criteria. It's, because I think a lot of smelly people have gotten past me.
Yeah, speaking of smelly people, it's gotten a lot better over the years. I mean, I've gone to conventions where no one stunk now, whereas when I was younger, every convention I went to, it just smelled like armpits and stuff. But now it's like, I think people have finally learned that if you take a shower and you apply deodorant and stuff, that people are going to treat you a lot better.
Yeah. Either the smelly ones are passed on or do something different. So, I don't know. Was there peer pressure to get these people? I mean, was anybody grabbed and thrown into a shower or something?
I don't know. I guess they just got smart and they put 2 and 2 together and figured it was a good idea to start showering or something. But anyhow, that's all we got, guys. See you next week.